Good morning, everyone. Sorry about that. I was on mute, even though I thought I clicked unmute. So I wasn't planning on going live this morning. However, I did catch a few minutes of Besties live this morning. And needless to say, I was very disappointed in the reporting on a case of a missing young adult. Good morning, Outlaw Trucker. And for those of you who may be here, again, this was not a planned live. I was up pretty early this morning, and then I decided to give Daniel Robinson the exposure and respect he deserves in his case. He has been missing for 2 years, and again, I only saw a part of the reporting from the live this morning, and what I saw was a whole lot of nothing. So I really wanted to give Daniel, a respectful, informative live discussing his case. And yes, Outlaw Trucker, I was getting so mad that I had to stop watching. So I named this part 1 because as I was going through, there is so much on this case. When I looked at Google, again, I searched all the news stories with from date. So I went all the way back to the beginning, and then I stopped at what I feel is a good point, and part 2 will probably be, if not tomorrow, because tomorrow is the sentencing for the limousine crash, it will be on Thursday. So again, welcome for those of you who are here. There's not many of you, but again, I just appreciate you being here. So we're going to get started. So the first thing I am going to do is show us Daniel Robinson. So then Daniel Robinson, this is a photo of him, and I had thought about doing a slideshow for this. However, because of time, I didn't have the time I wanted. So with this, I have 5 articles that I've pulled up, and some of them we're just going to watch the video. Some of them we will actually read the article. But again, this gives a summary / timeline of events, and I like to present the facts. So I'm sure if I go back and watch the live that I was watching this morning, I'm going to get even more mad because of the speculation and assumptions that were being made. Hey, Tiffany, welcome again. So for those of you coming in, thank you. This was not planned, so I appreciate you being here. And so I'm going to get started. So we're going to start with this one. And so again, for those of you coming in, this is the case of Daniel Robinson, who is missing from, excuse me, Buckeye, Arizona. And so this one we're going to watch the video for, and I apologize again for, hey, so Lisa, I'm thinking it's because I didn't know I was going to go live either. I legit scheduled the live at 10 after 11 Eastern, like 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So yeah, I didn't realize I was going to go live either. So that's probably why the notifications weren't working. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me add myself to the stream. There we go. Nope, that's not what I want. There we go. Okay. All right. And again, I tried to get through the ads, but I'm guessing they're going to restart. So we'll just go with it. I'll just mute it while the ads are going because I think these are like 30 seconds long. They're pretty long compared to YouTube. Oh, maybe not. I see it's almost done.
Family is hoping to bring their son home after he went missing from Buckeye.
24-year-old Daniel Robinson was last seen leaving his job near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. It's now been 6 days since then, and his family is asking for your help to find him.
Team 12's Nyala Charles has more on the desperate search.
This video of 24-year-old Daniel Robinson is quickly spreading on TikTok.
The nicest guys you'll ever meet.
His family and friends desperately hoping for his return. His older brother is asking for your help all the way from South Carolina.
So it's just been really, really hard. Just trying to keep going throughout the day.
Daniel was last seen last Wednesday, June 23rd, leaving his job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road in Buckeye in this gray Jeep Renegade.
There's not really a whole lot that we know around it.
Daniel was working his first job out of college here, coming from South Carolina to make a living.
I'm not really sure what really sparked it.
David says Daniel had a love for music despite being born without a right hand. He says his brother always tried to bring a smile to someone else's face, but recently he's had trouble along his journey.
He's been a little withdrawn lately. And so, it's hard when you're trying to let the person develop as a young adult and, get their life going and not be overbearing as older siblings.
Daniel is known as the person people go to for help.
Whatever he could do to lift someone's spirit, he was always there.
Now his family is asking that you be there for him.
Keep an eye out for him. Daniel's a really nice kid. And, if you see something, say something.
He's known to sometimes go to the mountains or beach to clear his head.
He's just been making a few more trips more than usual.
So please keep his picture in your head and help bring him back home.
We really love him and care for him a lot.
Nyala Charles, 12 News.
So that was the date of that article was, give me one moment. That was June 29th. So he went missing on June 23rd, 2021, and his family reported him missing on June 29th, 2021. So one thing I wanted to mention, his dad is, we're going to actually watch a video next about Daniel's dad. His dad does have a website. It is www.pleasehelpfinddaniel.com or .org. I can't remember the ending part, but the link is in the description along with the GoFundMe that his father is using the funds to hire private investigators, do, everything they can, stay in hotels, things like that, in an attempt to find their son. So again, for those of you coming in, thank you. I very much appreciate it on this very sudden live that I did not plan. However, watching a live this morning and seeing the non-preparedness that was done in regards to this case, I became very enraged and said, you know what? I'm going to give Daniel Robinson the respect and advocacy he deserves, because I literally spent probably about 2 hours digging through different articles. And again, this is from the very beginning, and I'm only going to go up to a certain point because, again, I have things I need to do. And then part 2 will probably be on Thursday because tomorrow is the limousine crash sentencing for Mr. Hussein. So the next video I have for you, it is that of Daniel's dad And let me make this bigger. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is very loud.
Tonight, the family of 24-year-old Daniel Robinson, who had disappeared more than a week, or 2 weeks ago, rather, after leaving his job in Buckeye, continues to search for answers.
Team 12's Josh Sanders spoke with Daniel's father, who drove all the way from South Carolina to help in the search.
David Robinson had only one thought on his mind as he drove the nearly 1,800 miles from his South Carolina home to Phoenix.
I had to find my son.
His 24-year-old son, Daniel, missing since June 23rd.
Trying to make calls as I'm driving. I just had hopes that by the time I got here, something would turn up and I would see my son. I get to put my arms around him and talk to him and try to find out what's going on.
Buckeye Police say Daniel was last seen driving a blue 2017 Jeep Renegade away from his work site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road.
The area of his last seen is a desert, so you got to be prepared for that. You have to get water. You have to get certain things to just go out there to look, so.
He graduated 3 years ago with a major in archaeology, moving to Arizona and living in Tempe for work.
He just loved nature. He loved his job. He's a geologist.
He worked as a field geologist at Matrix New World, offices based in Phoenix, Prescott, and Tucson. In a statement to 12 News, the company says they have been coordinating with the family to the best of their ability, and Daniel is a valued member of our team. We are very concerned. Meanwhile, David says he will stay here for as long as it takes, hoping and searching until his son is home.
We're not going to stop. We're going to try to spread the word as far as we can. I had to find my child. I had to find my son.
And the family has set up a website for the public to reach out to them with any information regarding Daniel's disappearance. We have that information on our website at 12news.com. We're in Buckeye. Josh Sanders, 12 News.
And so I believe this is where they have the GoFundMe. And I don't know if I can make this bigger. I do have this in another article. However, this is these stupid ads. This is the area where he went missing. This location here. And I believe that is the Air Patrol search area. So this red, that's what I thought it was. This red area is where they were searching for Daniel via aircraft. And here's just another map of the area. And so in the middle of the screen, it's hard for me to read, so I'm sure it's hard for you to read as well. Last seen here heading west. So Daniel was where this middle pin is, heading west. And the job site is the top yellow pin. So he had been, I would assume, driving down this road here. And then between those 2 points, and then he was going to be heading west. And yes, so here is, for those of you who would like to check this out, I do have the link, and thank you so much, Blank Screen, for sharing the link in chat. I much appreciate it. There is some information regarding Daniel's disappearance. However, this is more the, I feel, advocacy side. So they have, where you can submit info, volunteer, sign the petition. This is where I actually got the thumbnail for my live today. And the one thing I don't like about StreamYard is it can only be so big. So I just took the top half. But if we zoom in, let me just do, let's see, shift up. No, control up. Oh, I guess I can't make it any bigger. All right. Actually, let me try this. Open a new tab. Ah, there we go. Look at me go. Okay. So it says, please help find Daniel, grassroots movement, justice for Daniel Robinson, missing since June 23rd, 2021. The family's demands the case be moved to Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, case deemed a criminal investigation, and proper forensics of available evidence. Reason for upgrade in status. And here is a photo of his car, which we're going to get into shortly. So the reasons for upgrade. First, patterns are broken. Daniel always informs his family of travel plans. 2, direct Jeep Renegade evidence leading to foul play collected by Mr. Robinson's efforts and given to law enforcement. 3, direct forensics evidence of tampering Daniel's apartment after the July 19th vehicle recovery from the desert. That will be coming in part 2. 4, Daniel has been missing since June 23rd, 2021. No evidence of him being at or leaving the vehicle recovery site. And then they have, if you have you can text or call 844-602-0660, and you can remain anonymous, which I think is helpful because a lot of, oh guys, I am so sorry. I need to get it together. I thought I was sharing the actual big photo of the poster, so I'm just going to show you this quickly. I read through it. So this is actually what I used for my thumbnail for this live, and this I found on this website. So they have a lot of things that you can use to help get the word out. So let me go back to that. They have all kinds of different things. They also have the PDF download links. So instead of, which I clicked on to begin with, but here's the PDF of that. So you can download it and then share it. You could print it if you live in that area. I will say this website is very informative. It has the Buckeye Police Department address and the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office address, and just, as he said, a grassroots movement. So if you have time, definitely check that out. And I did sign the petition. So I really liked that they had signed the petition because it will bring you right to the petition of Daniel. And so far, they have over 127,000 of 150,000, which is almost to their goal. Okay, so now I have to remember, yes, we did this one. I have to remember where we're at. Okay, so the next one, let me share this instead. Okay, so this was from July 14th. So this is now moving a few weeks into Daniel being missing. And I'm going to play this video.
Here's your sign for sale-free savings at Aldi. Ta-da!
Tonight, a Columbia family is looking for their son out west. He walked off his job site in Arizona and hasn't been seen since. As Emily Carell tells us, the 24-year-old's father made the trip to Arizona while his brother works to get the word out here.
He's just a really, 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 really nice guy.
David Robinson has spent the past 3 weeks doing what no one ever hopes to do, looking for information on his missing brother.
Last we've heard, he was at his job site on June 23rd, behaving a little strangely, according to the witnesses there. And he drove off from his job site that morning. And from that point forward, no one has heard or seen from him.
Daniel Robinson is an AC Flora alum who graduated from College of Charleston in 2019. Since then, he's lived in Phoenix, Arizona, where he oversees sites as a field geologist.
We called a cell phone. At some point, his phone is turned off. We tried reaching out to his GPS system, and that service wasn't working. His car's been off, so we haven't been able to track his car as well. Nothing on his bank record suggests where he might have been. So we're just little by little trying to figure out something, get pieces and clues.
The family says while Daniel has a passion for adventure, he always communicates with friends and family.
We're left in the dark. We don't know exactly what's going on, where he could be.
And a message for Daniel.
Your family loves you. We miss you, want you to come home safely. If you're hearing this, reach out if you can, call us or anything. We just want to make sure that you're home safely and that you're okay.
I'm Emily Correll, News 19 WLTX.
As we mentioned earlier, Daniel's dad is in Arizona. David Robinson tonight, still holding out hope he will find his son.
I just had hopes that by the time I got here, something would turn up and I would see my son. I get to put my arms around him and talk to him and try to find out what's going on. We're not going to stop. We're going to try to spread the word as far as we can. And I had to find my child. I had to find my son. So,
if you believe you have any information or if you would like to help the family, you can find this story right now on our website, WLTX.com.
Hyundai Santa Fe versus Subaru Outback.
Okay. So the next one is getting into when Daniel's car was found. So this one I'm actually going to read to us because this is where I started getting a little suspicious, as they say in the headline. Some things just aren't making sense or adding up. And so I'll kind of leave it to you all to come to your own conclusions before I say what I think. However, at this point also, so after I got ready for this live, I went back and finished listening to the earlier live and what they said. Then I got more mad because knowing everything I know now about the case and the speculation and the misinformation that was being put out made me even more angry because this, like I said, this took me 2 hours, maybe a little longer because I thought I was going to do a slideshow and then decided not to. So I had started the slideshow and I said, I'm going to scrap it. But it wouldn't take long to actually know the person's name, know where this took place, know what their occupation was. He was a geologist, not an archaeologist. It would do well to know just some basic facts about the case. And so Sinner, that is being part 2. So they did find remains in the area where Daniel went missing. However, it was confirmed not to be him. So that's what I'm going to do in part 2 is talk about what happened after they found the car, because there has been so much going on that I wanted to give just a summary / synopsis of the case and what they know up to this point. And then part 2 is going to be what's happened since, if that makes sense. So here, again, this is from July. Actually, it was updated August 25th, 2021. So we're about 2 months, give or take, from when Daniel went missing. And so again, Buckeye, Arizona. Daniel Robinson, 24, was last seen driving a blue 2017. Give me 1 moment. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Was last seen driving a blue 2017 Jeep Renegade away from his work site in Buckeye on June 23rd. Since then, his father, David, and anywhere between 75 and 200 volunteers have searched every Saturday for the geologist. On July 21st, a rancher found the Jeep rolled over and on its side in a ravine on his property on Monday. The airbags in the vehicle were deployed, and officials said evidence shows Robinson was wearing his seatbelt at the time of the crash. So I'm curious, what evidence? I mean, was the seatbelt locked? Was it just how, it's very interesting that they say evidence shows he was wearing his seatbelt. Initially, I was scared when I first got the call, his father David said. We have the vehicle, but we don't have my son. David hired accident reconstructionist and private investigator Jeff McGrath of 3 Laws Recon Investigations to piece together how Daniel's Jeep ended up on the ravine. Something wasn't right. Immediately, when I saw the vehicle, I noticed something wasn't right with it, said McGrath. The damage didn't match with the terrain and where it was laying. McGrath downloaded the vehicle's information from the airbag control module and found the Jeep was started more than 40 times after the airbags were deployed. After the airbags came out, somebody turned that ignition over at least 46 more times. That's not normal. We usually see 1 of 2 because it adds 1 when we download the box. Hey, and so thank you again, everyone, for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, that's true. The onboard computers would say the seatbelt as well. I guess I forget about our cars being smart cars these days. Who drove the car after the airbags were deployed? The ACM also records the vehicle speed after the airbags are deployed. There's an additional 11 miles on the car since the airbags deployed. So that tells me the car was driven around after it was crashed. Police said they found multiple belongings of Robinson, including clothes, his cell phone, wallet, and keys. Detectives immediately began searching for Robinson in the area by ground and air and are analyzing the evidence left in the car. Officials said foul play is not suspected based on the condition of how the Jeep was left. McGrath says the system shows the Jeep was involved in a collision around 1 p.m., nearly 4 hours after Daniel was last seen. We have a gap in time and we don't know where he went and what was going on, said McGrath. The activity with the vehicle is very suspicious, and any time we get a download that doesn't match. By looking at the photographs, it doesn't match the area. Sometimes those could be a staged event, and that looked like a staged event to me. Detectives learned from family, friends, and coworkers that Robinson's behavior in the days prior to him going missing was not like himself at times, but there is no indication that he wished to harm himself or leave the area. Robinson's father, David, drove over 1,800 miles to Arizona to find his son, and he has been working with Buckeye Police during searches. It's very out of character. He would never go anywhere without telling family. Despite what I see, and despite what I know, I really believe one day I'm going to find my son, and I'm going to put my arms around him. At this time, McGrath doesn't believe Daniel's disappearance is criminal, either, after discovering he may have been struggling with his mental health weeks prior to vanishing. This is very sad, and we want to bring Daniel home. We want to bring him home to his family so they can have some closure. And then they also say where they were also going to have a search, and there is another photo of Daniel. Here's the answer to my question. Police were able to tell Daniel's seatbelt was engaged at the time of the crash thanks to a, quote, black box type computer inside the car, but it could not tell the time or date of the crash. I won't give up. I'm not giving up until I see him again, Daniel's father said. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. Robinson was in Arizona working his first job. He moved from South Carolina in 2019. Robinson graduated 3 years ago with a major in archaeology. Okay, so that's where this earlier live got archaeologist, but he was working as a geologist. and moved to Tempe to work for Matrix New World Engineering. In a statement to 12 News, Senior Vice President Petroselli confirmed Robinson has worked the company for the last 2 to 3 years. Daniel is an employee, and we have been coordinating with the family to the best of our ability. Daniel has worked for us for 2 to 3 years as a field geologist and is a valued member of our team. We are very concerned. David Robinson, Daniel's dad, has announced that a $10,000 reward is being offered for anyone who has information on Daniel's whereabouts. And so there, again, that was from, it was updated in August. So the last article that I want to talk about is we're going to watch a video. And this is dated September 17th, 2021. So again, just the first few months I'm going to go over, and then part 2 will be coming most likely on Thursday, because tomorrow is sentencing for the Schoharie limousine crash. So 1 second, I'm on the wrong slide. All right, so here, let me get this video up.
And now an update on the search for a missing geologist. That's Daniel Robinson's picture. He was last seen June 23rd leaving a job site in Buckeye near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. Since then, his Jeep was found in a ravine with significant damage, but some personal items were.
And so, well, and I paused it, but now the air is in the way, but you can see where his car is just, it is kind of like in a precarious location. And here, on the right is actually from the air. You can see his vehicle here. And it's just, I mean, I don't even see a road anywhere around there.
Still in the vehicle. According to Buckeye Police, more than 70 square miles have been searched using ATVs, cadaver dogs, a drone, a helicopter. They say that despite some rumors online, the only human remains found was that of a human skull, and that did not belong to Daniels. Anyone with info is urged to call Buckeye Police.
Okay. And so, again, thank you for those of you coming in. I am going to read this just because you may have not caught the earlier information. So again, this is Buckeye, Arizona. Daniel Robinson went missing on June 29th.
Colorado River is Arizona's largest renewable water supply.
I'm sorry. He was reported missing on June 29th, 2021. He was last seen leaving his job site on June 23rd, 2021. So police are continuing to analyze evidence and explore leads in connection to a missing 24-year-old geologist who was last seen leaving a job site in Buckeye. According to police, Daniel Robinson was last seen on June 23rd near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. And there is a photo that we did see of David. I'm sorry, of Daniel. David, his dad, provided this photo. After his disappearance, Robinson's Jeep was found crashed in a ravine on July 19th. The vehicle had significant damage, and some personal items of Robinson were also found inside. And again, I just find this very, strange. So, I just don't know. So Lisa, or actually Crime Time, so then Lisa, I actually was not able to find anything that he was with someone out there. And I know that was reported in the live that I watched this morning. However, maybe it came to fruition later. So again, I'm only going up to this point where his car was found. Possibly it was found later. However, in everything that I've read and we've watched, nowhere has it said he was with someone else. So that's something that I'm really interested in finding out, whether or not it's pure speculation, rumor, or if it is actually factual. Oh, so Lisa, are you saying from the job site? Because that would make sense if there was someone at his job site. I thought you were saying someone was with him when he left. Yes, Hippoporium, I will put my email in the chat. Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, which is interesting because in all of these articles, and again, it only talked about the family. Nowhere did I see anything about someone who mentioned him, talking to someone else. On July 31st, a human skull was found in an area south of where Robinson's vehicle was recovered. However, it was later determined that the human remains did not belong to Robinson. No additional human remains have been found, despite online reports claiming otherwise, police said in a statement on September 16th. Other remains recovered during searches were determined to be animal bones. And so here, another photo of where Daniel's car was found. And again, just a very precarious location. And it's looking at the photo from this angle. If you had been back farther, I'm not sure you would even be able to see that vehicle. And I'm wondering so the vehicle is in the center, a little off center of your screen. And then there's something like lying more towards the top right. Like, then you can see something orange. It's just very strange. Okay, Hippoprim. Daniel met another worker in the morning on that day and was talking like out of his mind a little bit. But next thing you know, he hopped in his Jeep, waved goodbye, and drove off and was never seen again. Yes, and his brother did mention that he was out of sorts and feeling down. However, they didn't suspect he was feeling like self-harming or that mental state. But again, I just feel the location of the vehicle is suspicious. It just seems, I don't know, it just seems very bizarre. Yes, Bondsman, that actually had come up as well in the other live I was watching, but again, I'm only going by what I'm reading and I don't want to speculate. I'll give some thoughts as to, for example, where the car is being located. I will agree, though, that is very suspicious. Like, it's very sus. He came out here for a class, moved out here, landed a job in Arizona. And like I said, he's a very outspoken guy, said Daniel's father. Being out here is very hard. We're not getting the answers we're looking for. And here the police, actually, let me click on this. So this is, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Here we go. All right, so this is from the Buckeye Police Department. So this news release was on September 16th, 2021. And so, and I don't think I can, oh, there we go. Can make it bigger. Look at me learning. So it says Daniel Robinson was reported missing on June 23rd, 2021. He was last seen that day leaving a job site near Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. Since his disappearance, the Buckeye Police Department has worked with outside agencies to search more than 70 square miles in an effort to locate Daniel. Investigators have utilized UTVs, cadaver dogs, and air support, including a drone and a helicopter. On July 19th, 2021, a landowner spotted Daniel's Jeep in a ravine. Because of the rough terrain, the vehicle was not clearly visible to crews searching by air and on foot. The vehicle had significant damage. Later that month, on July 31st, 2021, a human skull was located in an area south of where the Jeep had been recovered. It was later determined the remains do not belong to Daniel. No additional human remains found, despite online reports claiming otherwise. Other remains recovered during searches were determined to be animal bones. Buckeye Police continue to analyze evidence and explore leads. Anyone with information that can help solve this case and bring closure to the Robinson family is urged to call the Buckeye Police Department. And again, here is the aerial photo, and the arrow is pointing at where his car was. Another photo that we saw before of the car in the ravine. And here is that close-up we saw earlier as well. Okay, so let's go back here. Oh, and that's it. So that is where I am going to stop. Again, just wanted to give the backstory and some information on what's out there. Thank you, Hippoporium. So I did notice the orange and things. So thank you. Those were his clothes. Yes. So I'm going to look into that crime time because, again, I've only gone up to, let me go back to my Google page where I was searching. So I've only gone through oh, I went too far. I only went through 2 pages. So if I've only got up to September 17th, 2021. Actually, it was August 28th, 2021. So I still have, based on Google search results, I've only gone through 3 pages. I have another 9 pages of news stories to go through. So that's why I wanted to do 2 parts, because I didn't want this live to be too long, because I do have to get stuff done because I've been very lazy and procrastinating. But I wanted to, get Daniel's story out there. And yeah, because this morning, the live that I was watching, it was to me just so irresponsible and disrespectful to just mention it and then show, the dad's website, which I do feel is informative, yet not show anything about it. And then to not know details. And yeah, it made me very mad. Oh, outlaw trucker. That's interesting. I was taught well by 2 Indian chiefs out here in Arizona and Nevada tribe, they taught me well of the land. That's a good question, Blank Screens Bondsman. So, outlaw trucker, do you notify law enforcement if you see a car broke down or abandoned? You could be very useful. I'd go as far as getting tag number. That's a great question. I believe the property owner of where his car was found lives pretty close. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, since we have a location now based on that press release, I'm gonna actually go to Google Earth and kind of look myself, be able to see the terrain and kind of wander around, because the photos they gave are insightful. However, not knowing where the car was in regards to where Daniel was traveling, I feel that would give me a better perspective. Oh, Crime Time, you're kidding me. So, and actually, Crime Time, that is why I'm doing this live, because she started talking about Daniel and she didn't know the facts. She was just, it just made me so mad, because this kid is missing and he deserves your time. And I only got to where she was talking about Daniel. I didn't go any farther, but I did get an email saying they think she was talking about me in regards to monetization and having ads in the middle of her live streams. I haven't seen that yet, but I am going to go live today, my normal time, 4:45, and we're going to talk about Boo Boo. And we're going to start with, I found some videos of her at the Manatee County Fair that I thought they were actually really fun. I wish she was like that now, because I was like, oh my gosh, like these are so fun. Then we'll get into her live from today, which if she was talking poorly about Ethan's parents again, I'm going to be really mad. Yes. So Outlaw Trucker says, yes, I do. And if young adults traveling, I do report, or I stop and ask if they need help. I do report breakdowns, but sometimes there is law already there. And Sinner, hello again. And VIN numbers are visible through the windshield, just in case there has been some shenanigans with the license plate. Makes sense. Oh, good, Outlaw Trucker. That's great. I agree. I mean, you can't trust anybody on the roads, and there's those people who, they pretend that they need help and then they end up having other plans. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna call it, but thank you so much for being here again. I will be adding the links to all of the news sources that I used in the description. However, at this point, I have the GoFundMe link as well as the website made by Daniel's father, David, that has the posters and other things. I did on Twitter. I think I tweeted it from my Emmy Headstone account. I don't use my Headstones and Headlines account very much over there. I'm not sure why. But my Emmy Headstone, I did tweet a post from a news reporter in Arizona who was covering this case. And so that is on my Twitter feed. And I also am going to, now that I have the PDF file, I'm going to post the poster that I had shared earlier. So yes. So thank you again for everyone being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all later at 4:45. So until then, have a good afternoon, and I will see you all on the flip side.